Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is JDavis. And in this economy with leadership's changes and everything going on, we continue to stream stories of leadership, entrepreneurship, and how people are dealing with business in this ever-changing world. And it is changing every day. Our next guest, I'm excited to introduce you to Randy Carr, President and CEO of World Emblem. Wow. I don't have a World Emblem on me.
You might. I'm seeing something. Oh no, that's a zipper. Yeah, you might somewhere. I mean, everyone always does.
Well, I'm not a big fan of promoting other people's products, but I do wear a lot of Lululemon. So
It's all I wear. I don't wear anything but Lululemon. That's every day, everything. And when they came out with the collegiate licensing stuff, I went and grabbed about 30 Alabama Crimson Tide Lululemon t-shirts, and was very happy about that.
right. So Randy, I'm pretty interested in a World Emblem. Why don't you tell our listeners what exactly you do? And I know you're going to be sending me an email after this show, so I'm committing you to that orally. So, there's our oral contract. But tell us about World Emblem.
Yeah, so World Emblem is the world's largest emblem manufacturer. We manufacture badges, tags, labels. So anything you would see from a sports jersey to an emblem or a label on a hat to a UPS driver to the military, police. So any of the markings on TSA, the uniforms, when you see the emblems on the sleeves and the chest, it's likely that came from us.
Wow. Have you always been in this business? Did you start it, or is this a family business? What's the history?
So I'm second gen. My father had an emblem company when I was growing up, and it went out of business in 1988. And he pulled my brother and I out of college, and we restarted this in Medley, Florida, in 1990. So it was the three of us in a small warehouse in Medley. And since then, we've grown it to 1,200 employees, over 1 million square feet. We do roughly 250 million emblems a year. So it's markedly different from the days in a small warehouse in Medley.
So when I was a little boy and I was a Boy Scout, I had all these emblems on my body. Are those the kind of things you would make?
Exactly, it's exactly what we make. It's exactly what we make. That's a great description of it.
Well, in some ways, I'm still a Boy Scout. I still try to follow their rules, and it was a good training and discipline for me. But there are a lot of areas and organizations that have emblems that are important, correct?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like even I'm surprised. So we have one of our mission is to see our brands everywhere, right? So like we're always kind of looking around when we travel to see is it something that we made or not. Now, obviously, there's more than us, more than World Emblem in the emblem manufacturing space. But what we do differently than everybody else is we manufacture everything on this side of the world. So we think, what we do is manufacture everything very quickly. So of the up to 1 million emblems that we'll make a day, we'll make 500,000 of them same day. So we'll take our orders in at about 12 o'clock, and we'll ship about 500,000 pieces on the best day that night. So our customers get them the next day. The majority of our competitors manufacture everything overseas. And it can take anywhere from 3 to 8 weeks to get that product. So, that's kind of the difference of what World Emblem brings to the market.
So, again, this is not a slight. It's really just because I do a lot of work in family businesses.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as leaders, you and your brother versus your dad?
All right. So, he passed away in 2000. So I was 26. I watched him in a time of crisis, from the time I stepped into the business till the time he passed away. It was a startup at that time. And I think when he passed, we maybe had 40 employees, and we have 1,200 now. So it's markedly different kind of steps you go through. I would say at this point, I'm 52. I'm more cerebral. I'm a little more patient, but I'm still very impatient. My brother's a little more removed from the business. He works in the sales department. My title is CEO. But I try to surround myself with a lot of really talented people. And I can't actually remember if my dad did that or not. Like I said, I saw him, um, after his business went under that he had, and I sort of watched him trying to rebuild this company in his mid 60s. And I think like in his head, I'm going to rebuild the company so my kids have a business to keep going with. And that was kind of what was in his head.
So, again, I probably don't know enough about your business to say something smart, so I'll probably say something stupid.
I don't think so.
I've seen so much technology change in the garment industry and AI even entering it. I would assume that as the leader, you've really got to have your head into where's this going in 5 years and how do I create that path?
All right. So, yeah, so we invest 10% of our revenue into technology. So that's the first thing I'll tell you. And that's the IT tech. That's not including our R&D and product development space. So we have some. There's probably two answers to this question. The first one is, what are we doing on a product development standpoint? And we do have IP out there now for use of 3D printing to develop products, and we think that's very disruptive to our space and a lot of spaces that are not even in our space. But we think 3D printings are something we need to learn and know. And then the second thing is we do have over $1 million now being invested in a generative AI logo development solution. We're probably 2 months into that 6-month project. And we really think that's going to change the way people request designs from us. It'll take it from a 2-day turn time where over 100 people are involved to what we believe is instant rendition, instant artwork and product development renditions for them to actually see their logo done on screen. And we'll be able to use those 100 people for other work in the space in our business.
Well, that's a lot of change.
Yeah.
And that could change a lot of things that you're doing. Did you mention earlier where you're located?
So our corporate office is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And that was from Miami, and we just ended up in Fort Lauderdale. We have a maquiladora in Aguascalientes, Mexico. We have a factory and an office in Atlanta, Houston, Texas, Toronto, Canada, Ontario, California, and Lincolnshire, England.
Interesting. You picked Toronto over Quebec because Quebec has all the tax credits.
That was a bad choice then. It just sort of worked out that way. We go where our customers are. So
right.
In a lot of respects, again, because we compete on speed, we get orders for our clients. I mean, I believe Toronto has the bulk of the population in Canada.
Oh, it does. It does. But, I won't go into it now. I mean, it's not a seminar for me. I'm not consulting. But Quebec has just substantial manufacturing and labor tax credits that make it kind of lucrative. And then we can talk about that. We can talk about that offline.
That's good to know.
So, but yes, if you're manufacturing in Quebec, you're probably not selling into Canada. You have to have both.
Yeah. So again, our play was to go where your customers are. I mean, everything we do is rapid turnaround. So we'll get orders, tonight, and we'll be delivering it first thing in the morning for our clients before they even open up.
So Randy, if someone wants to know more about the company, and I'd like you to come back and see us again, tell us how things are going, how would they find it?
www.world, WORLD, EM as in Mary, B as in boy, LEM.com. That's worldemblem.com.
I want to thank you for being on the show today. Again, we've been speaking with Randy Carr, President and CEO of World Emblem. We'll be right back with more stories on Radio Entrepreneurs.